Hello friends, it's Alexis, and welcome to another round of TBR Pop. If this is your first time watching one of my TBR Pop videos, I will have a playlist of previous episodes linked below, but it's a pretty self-explanatory game. I have a dart, I have my board with balloons on it. I'm gonna toss the dart at a balloon, and on the back of the balloon is a reading prompt that I have to pick a book to complete. This is going to be my 7th time playing this game, and I think it's time to make some changes. For the first 6 months, we were figuring out what worked and what didn't, and what didn't work is I have not been reading all of the books that I put on my TBR. June, for example, I had 10 books. I have completed 1 of them. I am in the middle of 2 of them, and it's only June 26th, so I have a few days left to go, but that's atrocious. These are all books I want to read. I don't know what's going on. I keep going in and out of reading slumps this year, but I'm just not picking up the books on my TBR. Instead, I keep reading library books, or what happened for a big part of June is I just don't read anything at all. So I've come up with some rule changes for my game that I think is going to help. Number 1, instead of throwing for 8 or sometimes 10 prompts every month, I'm going to start only throwing for 5 prompts. This will leave it open for me so I can squeeze in other books I'm interested throughout the month, but also make sure that I'm prioritizing books on my physical TBR, which brings me to rule number 2. I have been very lenient. The whole reason I created this board in this game was to get my physical TBR numbers down, and that's not going to work if I keep putting library books on the official TBR. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my library. Everybody go support your local library. I will still be using it for other books I read throughout the month, but for my official TBR Pop game, those 5 balloons that I throw have to be a book I own physically, or that I've pre-ordered or I'm planning to buy that month because it's a new release. And the only exception to that rule is if I absolutely do not have a book to fit that prompt. But I think most of my prompts are pretty easy that I have a physical book that will complete it. And finally, rule number 3 is I'm going to be introducing rewards and punishments to the game. This isn't an original idea. Lots of other booktubers do this during their TBR games. Specifically, Sid Bookworm is somebody I got a lot of inspiration from. Big fan of Sid's channel and a big fan of Spin the Bottle TBR. And it's booktubers like her that inspired me to create my own game. So, unfortunately, like I mentioned, because I failed terribly at reading my TBR this month, we get to pick a punishment. Some of these are very, very unhinged. Some of these are going to ruin my entire life, and some of them aren't too bad, but I have them all folded up on little pieces of paper. I'm going to hold it up so I can't see, and we're going to pick one at random and hope that I don't get anything too bad. I'm so scared. How did I know this was going to be the one? This one isn't too bad, depending on what somebody chooses. For my punishment, I got Dan's pick. This means that Dan has total control and he gets to pick a book for me to read, any book he wants. It can be one off of his physical TBR or mine, and I have to read it in addition to the 5 balloons I throw for, so already TBR is starting out at 6 for this month. Okay, let me go tell him the news and I will be right back to let you know what he has selected. Okay. I have been told the pick is in, so I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to have Dan reveal what he has picked for me. Am I holding it the right way?
Yep.
Okay. Dan has decided I will be reading Crow Planet, Essential Wisdom from the Urban Wilderness by Lyanda Lynn Haupt. This is a very stereotypical Dan pick. He really likes nonfiction, specifically environmental books or books about animals and nature. So I will be reading this one in the month of July and learning all about crows, I guess. But now that our punishment is out of the way, we can get right into the game. Okay, we are starting out with throw 1 of 5. I am so nervous. I don't even want to aim. I also kind of want to get that one orange balloon in the center. So I guess I'm going to aim for that. That was really close. Hell yeah. Look at me go. Okay, this is a good sign. Orange is going to be a good balloon. For balloon number 1, we got friend pick. Okay, This is gonna be good. Okay, so this is a really good one and I'm very excited. I decided to ask my absolutely lovely friend Heather from Books and Heather to pick a book for me. I sent her 2 photos that I will pop up on the screen. These are my TBR cart like priorities, as well as books that I've bought recently and want to get to. I did not want to subject her to my entire TBR shelf in my bedroom. That is just too chaotic and it would have taken me so long to get pictures of everything. We're not doing that. So she gets the books I'm most excited about. And she already told me that there are a few books that she's given 5 stars in the photos. So I'm very excited to see what she picks. Once she sends me her clip of her deciding, I will insert it now so you can see my live reaction. Back. I am so excited. Heather has just messaged me her selection. Unfortunately, she was having some mic issues, so she wasn't able to send a clip, but she said she was just gonna tell me. And as soon as I saw her message came through, I swiped it away. I did not read it. Not at all nervous. I know she'll pick a good one for me. Let's see what we are adding to the July TBR. She said, there are so many in your stack that I've read and loved, but I have to go with Rebecca Ross's A River Enchanted. It was my favorite book of 2024 and is everything I love about fantasy, mystery, romance, and some of the most beautiful writing ever. I hope you love it. This makes me so happy. The reason this was on my TBR cart is because of Heather. In May, when we were both co-hosts for Escape the Readathon, we were talking on sprints and she was reading the sequel and just like raving about how great the series was. And I'd had the first one on my TBR for a while, but her talking about the series like reminded me of how much I was interested in it. I should probably go get the book. Hang on. I'm back. Oh, it's that time of afternoon where the sun is coming through my blinds. There's nothing I can do about it and I'm not moving. I'm sorry. This is just, I love this cover so much. I love this art style. Beautiful. This is a long synopsis. I've never actually read what this is about. I bought this back when I read Divine Rivals by this author and I liked that first book. I just didn't love it as much as everyone else, but like 100% agree. I loved Rebecca Ross's writing. I thought it was so beautiful, and knowing that this was adult, whereas her other one was YA, I'm already telling you, I know I'm going to love this one. It starts with a letter and an ominous journey across dark waters. 10 years after being sent away to the mainland to become a bard, Jack Tamberlane is summoned home to Cadence, but his return is not a joyous one. Girls are going missing from the island, and Adara, I hope I'm saying that character's name right. I will definitely have to look up the audiobook pronunciation. She is future leader of the clan, believes Jack is the only one who can help them. It looks like Jack and Adara have a rivalry, but they must team up to try and save the girls. Facing the unknown from 2 sides, the bard and the heiress begin to see more in each other than they first realized. But as they get closer to uncovering where the girls are and why they were taken in the first place, it becomes apparent the trouble with the spirits is far more sinister than they first expected. An older, darker secret about Cadence lurks beneath the surface, threatening to undo them all, and no harp song may be strong enough to stop it. This sounds so good, and knowing that it was Heather's favorite book of last year just has me so excited for it. And I don't know how she knew this, but I have been in such a fantasy mood lately. She could not have picked a better book. Thank you so much, Heather, and to everybody else, I will have her channel linked below. Go check her out. Her reading vlogs are so fun. And if you like TBR games like mine, you're going to love her. She does a TBR game based on Battleship. Okay, here we go for throw number 2. I'm thinking one of the reds in the top and second row on the left. Oh my god, I got that in one throw. And balloon number 2 is going to be Spotify pick. Okay, that's the first time this one's come up. I'm excited, but nervous. I know I wrote this prompt, but I'm really, really nervous. This could go so good or so bad. I just hope I get a song that like I know and I've listened to more than once and I like am able to pick a book for it. Okay, let's do this. So opening Spotify, starting my screen recording. I'm gonna go to my like songs, which have a lot of random stuff in here, a lot of older stuff. I'm gonna hit shuffle and we're gonna see what comes up and if I'm able to match a book up to the song. Here we go. I obviously can't let it play because of copyright reasons. 'Tis the Damn Season by Taylor Swift. Do I have to read a Christmas book in July? I don't think I own any Christmas books. Okay, so like a holiday book. Maybe I can even stretch it to like a book that takes place in the winter. Or if we get into the specific lyrics, this could be like a small town romance. Okay, I have to go look at my options because I really don't want to read a Christmas book, and I will be right back. Okay, that was actually much easier and a lot faster than I was expecting it to be. I was instantly drawn to this title because it was very fitting for the lyrics of that song, and I realized I've never actually read the synopsis of this one. This is just an auto by author for me. So my book that is going to match up to "'Tis the Damn Season" by Taylor Swift is going to be Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. In this one, we are following 29-year-old Hannah, who has no home, no career, and no idea what she wants to do with her life. After years of different cities and jobs, she heads back to Los Angeles for a fresh start, this time with the help of her best friend Gabby. They're celebrating her homecoming with old friends at a local bar, and just after midnight, Gabby asks if Hannah is ready to go. Moments later, her high school boyfriend Ethan offers to give her a ride later if she wants to stay. Hannah hesitates. Alternating between two parallel universes, radically different paths unfold for Hannah and the people around her. Is anything simply destined to be? Do soulmates truly exist? Hannah believes so, and in both worlds, she's found him. Like, you cannot tell me this is not perfect. The song literally talks about like the road not taken, which represents a guy from your past that you're now taking a second look at, giving another chance. And I mean, it's pretty obvious this is gonna be like a second chance what if romance. Well, also, it sounds like maybe having a sci-fi element with doing the two parallel universes. This is incredible. I can't believe I picked such a good book for this prompt. Time for throw number 3. Let's go towards the right of the board. I'm literally just gonna throw, I'm not aiming. Okay, that's what happens when I don't aim. That too. Oh my god. All right, maybe let's aim for that yellow one. That works too. Prompt number 3 is going to be historical fiction. Wait, I actually have the perfect one for this. I was scared because I don't read a lot of historical fiction, but I'm so excited now. So at first I struggled with this one because I do not own or read a lot of historical fiction. I'm very, very picky about the ones that I do read. It's just not a genre that I'm super interested in until I remembered this one that I just bought, and I absolutely have to get on the July TBR. Like, it's absolutely wild that I have not read it yet. My favorite author, Taylor Jenkins Reid's newest release, Atmosphere. This one is set in the 80s, I believe. Yep, set in 1980s during a space shuttle program about the extraordinary lengths we go to live and love beyond our limits. I have seen the most incredible reviews for this one. I have the biggest FOMO that I have not picked it up yet, so I'm very excited to get it on the official TBR. I know this one is queer and that the ending is absolutely heartbreaking, so I can't wait to cry my eyes out. A little bit about the synopsis, because I've never actually read it all the way through. We are following Joan Goodwin, who has been obsessed with stars for as long as she can remember. She is content with her life as a professor of physics and astronomy and as an aunt to her precious niece Frances, until she comes across an advertisement seeking the first women scientists to join NASA's space shuttle program. Suddenly, Joan burns to be one of the few people to go to space. Selected from a pool of thousands of applicants in the summer of 1980, Joan begins training at Houston's Johnson Space Center alongside an exceptional group of fellow candidates. As they become unlikely friends and prepare for their first flights, Joan finds a love she never imagined. She begins to question everything she thinks she knows about her place in the observable universe. I'm so ready for this one. Okay, here we go. Throw number 4. I think I'm gonna go for the blue in the second row. Okay, or that one again. Book number 4 is going to be Matches a Tattoo. Okay, we're getting some really fun ones that I've been really excited to come up. And I'm gonna have to think about what I want to do for this one. I'm so happy this next prompt finally came up. It's one of the ones that I've been most excited for since the beginning, like literally waiting 7 months for it. And it was a very easy one to find a match for because I have 30 tattoos. So for this prompt, I'm going to be matching it up to one of my oldest. This was my 3rd tattoo I ever got. I want to say it had to be 2016 I got this one, I think. And that is right here on my arm. It is my bee with some flowers. Let me come closer so you can see. And this truly works out perfectly because I was already planning to read this book for Summerween. So there I go, completing 2 prompts with 1 book. We love to see it. That's gonna be The Honeys by Ryan LaSala. I know you're sick of hearing it, but I'm gonna keep saying it. This is another one that's been on my TBR forever. I think I even pre-ordered this one. That is how long it's been on my TBR, because this came out in 2022. So honestly, not as bad as I was expecting, but that was 3 years ago. It's finally time to read this one. I honestly feel like this is a 5-star prediction for me, which is why I've put it off for so long. But I know it's queer, it's about a creepy summer camp, and it might be culty. In this one, Mars has always been the lesser twin, the shadow to his sister Carolyn's radiance. But when Carolyn dies under horrific circumstances, Mars is propelled to learn all he can about his once inseparable sister who'd grown tragically distant. Mars's gender fluidity means he's often excluded from the traditions and expectations of his politically connected family. This includes attendance at the prestigious Aspen Conservatory Summer Academy, where his sister poured so much of her time. But with his grief still fresh, he insists on attending in her place. What Mars finds is a bucolic fairy tale not meant for him. Folksy charm and sun-drenched festivals camouflage old-fashioned gender roles and a toxic preparatory rigor. Mars seeks out his sister's old friends, a group of girls dubbed the Honeys, named for the beehives they maintain behind their cabin. They are beautiful and terrifying, and Mars is certain they're connected to Caroline's death. But the longer he stays at Aspen, the more the sweet mountain breeze gives way to hints of decay. Mars's memories begin to falter. Bleached beneath the relentless summer sun, something is hunting him in broad daylight, toying with his mind. If Mars can't find it soon, it will eat him alive. Every time I read the synopsis, I become more and more convinced that this is going to be 5 stars. I've also heard that the audiobook is the way to go. It's very immersive. There's lots of extra sound effects. So I will definitely be trying to get that from my library and possibly doing like a tandem read for this one. And like I mentioned before, I am planning to read this for Summerween this year. I will be vlogging and revealing my entire Summerween TBR during the first vlog, so look out for that one. And I'll be assigning whatever prompt I want to use this one for then. Right, and we've made it to our final throw number 5. I feel like there's a lot of purple on the board, so I'm gonna go for one of the dark purples, probably one of the 2 in the bottom right. Oh God, look at that! And I am standing the farthest back that I have so far for this game because I don't want to make it too easy for myself. Our final book on the TBR is going to be a book I own physically. I could not have gotten a better prompt. So this is basically a free space. This next one does not seem fair, but I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna take it. There have been some really harsh prompts prior months, so I think this is the apology I deserve. But for my essentially free space to read any book off of my physical TBR, I'm going to go with another book that I'm planning to read the week of Summerween, and that's Overgrowth by Mira Grant. This one is a recent purchase that is so highly anticipated for me. I cannot tell you how excited I am for this one. If you don't know, Mira Grant is the pen name for Seanan McGuire, and they are just one of my absolute favorite authors. The other book that I've read by Mira Grant was, you'd think I've never read before. Why can't I think of the name of this book? It's in my top horror books of all time. Beneath the Drowning Deep? Into the Drowning Deep. We got there. So yeah, in the past, I really enjoyed their horror sci-fi twists. That other one was about killer mermaids, and this one is about aliens. Since she was 3 years old, Anastasia Miller has been telling anyone who would listen that she's an alien disguised as a human being, and that the armada that left her on Earth is coming for her. Since she was 3 years old, no one has been willing to listen. Now, with an alien signal from the stars being broadcast around the world, humanity is finally starting to realize that we've already been warned and it may be too late. The invasion is coming. Stasia's biological family is on the way to bring her home, and very few family reunions are willing to cross the gulf of space for just one misplaced child. What happens when you know it's coming and just refuse to listen? I'm so excited. It came at a perfect time, especially with all of the Summerween artwork this year being alien and UFO themed. It just really inspired me to read some alien horror. All right, if you thought I was done, you were wrong. I'm gonna add potentially some more books onto the TBR. I know I just said in the beginning of this that I was only doing 5 prompts and we're already at 6 because of the punishment prompt, but these next prompts I'm going to be talking about are going to be for Tarot Readathon. I will have the announcement videos linked below, but it's a super fun team-based readathon where you draw a tarot card and then there are prompts associated with each card. I've participated in it for a few years now, so I was very excited when I saw that they were bringing it back again. So I'm gonna pull my first 3 tarot cards now and tell you the prompts I get. These are hopefully ones that I'll be able to double up with the books already on my physical TBR. And if they don't end up working and I have to add 3 additional books onto the TBR, it's gonna be like an unofficial TBR. Like for reward punishment purposes, I'm only counting the 6 I've already told you about. My tarot picks will just be extra bonuses if I can get them done, and I am allowed to use library books and that kind of stuff for them. But my goal really is to just match it up to books I've already talked about and not add too much more pressure on myself to read more. So yeah, that's too much explaining. Let's pull some tarot cards. This is my little box that holds 2 decks. I got it off of Etsy a few years ago, but in it I have just my classic tarot deck, which has artwork that you're probably familiar with. And then I also have my Edgar Allan Poe deck. So, because they're so beautiful, I think I'm gonna go with the Edgar Allan Poe deck. Okay, I'm gonna flip over the one on top and let's see what prompt I get. 3 of Swords, which has the artwork for the telltale heart on it. Got my prompt guide pulled up, and for the 3 of Swords, it's read a book that you think could make you cry. Yeah, I already know the perfect one. I think I already told you guys that I'm super excited to cry my eyes out over it. For the 3 of Swords prompt, I of course will be reading Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm just gonna pull the next one right off the top. I'm not gonna shuffle. And we got Knight of Pentacles. I do not know who this character is. I am a fake Edgar Allan Poe fan. Read your most anticipated book on your TBR. You know what? This might be risky, but I'm actually going to stray from what we've picked already because there is another book that I'm planning to read for Summerween that I am so excited for, and that's going to be With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. I've read everything else he's written, and I tend to enjoy his books. There's only 2 of them that we will not speak about. I just pretend they don't exist, but I've been really looking forward to this one. It is a murder mystery set on the train. I'm expecting it to have Agatha Christie vibes, and I'm very excited to see what Riley Sager does with it. Okay, and time for our final pull and our final book. It is going to be upside down, Queen of Cups, and look at how gorgeous she is. Read a book that explores non-traditional forms of love, such as platonic or familiar love. Do I have anything like that? Let me go check my shelf and I'll see what we have. Okay, that's definitely the longest it's taken me to pick a book so far today. I'm pretty sure the book I picked works because it's about sisters. That's Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaughey. I've only read Migrations by this author, but I was so impressed by it, I ordered this one along with her newest release. For some reason, I remember hearing that there is animal cruelty in this, so I was always a little hesitant to pick it up. That is not something I like in books. Let me know if I'm correct or if I'm like confusing it with something else. Inti Flynn arrives in Scotland with her twin sister Aggie to lead a team of biologists tasked with reintroducing 14 gray wolves into the remote highlands. She hopes to heal not only the dying landscape, but Aggie too, unmade by the terrible secrets that drove the sisters out of Alaska. Inti is not the woman she once was either, changed by the harm she's witnessed, inflicted by humans on both the wild and one another. Yet as the wolves surprise everyone by thriving, Inti begins to let her guard down, even opening herself to the possibility of love. When a farmer is found dead, Inti knows where the town will lay blame. Unable to accept that her wolves could be responsible, Inti makes a reckless decision to protect them. It seems like a big focus on this is going to be the relationship between the two sisters. Here we have it. Here's the stack for July. Honestly, not that bad. I'm proud of myself for keeping it manageable. Now let's just hope I can get through it and I don't have to do another punishment prompt next month. That is going to be it, friends. Make sure you check out my description for everybody I've mentioned in this video. I will have Books and Heather linked below, Summerween hosted by Gabby Reads, and Tarot Readathon hosted by Noelle 7 Pages and Deja's Book World. I'm looking at the stack trying to pick an emoji, and because Once There Were Wolves is on the top, let's just go with the wolf emoji. And please let me know what's a book that you're super excited for and planning to read in July. But as always, friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope you read a good book today, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.